Hi everyone. Let us see something about your favorite emails. One of the most popular internet services is electronic mail. The designers of internet probably never imagined the popularity of this application. Now its architecture consists of several components which we will discuss. It's the first scenario of email where the user, that is the person sending the mail and receiving the mail, belong to the same network or maybe in the same system. Then the mail being sent by the user agent, that is mail application, will be received in a system that is like a mailbox, wherein like post office, it will be split into various email IDs, and then the receiver side, that corresponding person will open his mailbox and he will get it through the user agent. But so when the sender and the receiver of email are in the same system, we need only two user agents. Whereas in the second scenario, if they are on different systems at different networks, then we require a message transfer agent in between. In the sender side, the message transfer agent MTA client will receive all the mails in a queue, and it is going to take up one by one, and it is going to send it through the internet to the MTA server, mail transfer agent server, at various systems. And at MTA server, it is going to categorize, the mail server is going to categorize it to various receivers mail ID, and that those mails are going to be received by the receiver, and the corresponding user agent program will open it and show it to the user. So this is the second scenario. Whereas in this second scenario, when the sender and the receiver are on different systems, we need that's two user agents and two message transfer agents. Whereas the third scenario is like the user, that is the sender, is connected to mail server via LAN or WAN, and in this situation we need two user agents and pair of MTAs. So we have pair of MTAs for the sender side itself. So when allies through user agent and MTA client, it has to send its mail through the LAN or WAN to the mail server at local network, and there the MTA server receives that one and queues it to the MTA client to pass it on through the internet. And when it is passed on through the internet, it is received by the MTA server on the receiver side, and there it is being categorized into various email IDs of the receivers, and then it reaches the corresponding email ID of the Bob or receiver based on the user agent when the mail is being opened. Whereas in the fourth scenario, we have both these client, see, both sender and the receiver are connected to the mail server via LAN or WAN. We need two user agents and two pairs of MTAs and pairs of MAAs also. So here both are connected through LAN or WAN. In that case, the sender sends it with the help of message transfer agent client, and it is received by message transfer agent server at the client side, and this mail server queues it and sends it to the MTA client through the internet, and it is received at MTA corresponding MTA server at receiver side, and that is being categorized, and through message access agent it reaches the message access client. So this may be a push or pull. So what do we call as push or pull? So from MTA client, the message is being pushed to the MTA server. So it is going to send it. This is pull. So I know my email ID. I am going to I know the receiver's email ID also. I am going to push the message. Whereas at the receiver side, from the MEA client, so from the message access agent, the message has to be pulled by the receiver. So that is called as pulling. So it message access server is going to it is going to, so the message access client is going to ask the server and pull the messages towards itself. So this is push versus pull in email. So this is the scenario we have now. And when you see about the services of user agent, so this user agent applications like your mail, pine, lm, right, all these agents are going to be helpful for us in composing the message, reading the message, replying to the messages, forwarding the messages, handling mailboxes, and so on. So all your Gmail, Yahoo, all these things can be considered as user agents. And these are guy-based. We also have Eudora, Outlook, and Netscape, which serve for various mailing applications. So when you see about the format of an email, let this be a normal for postal mail where we will put from address to address, and then the subject, the message, and the signature. The same way there is going to be envelope. So from, mail from, recipient to. So these are going to be some information which are formed for this simple mail transfer protocol. So these control commands which we will study. So whatever mail you send it in guy mode, it will be converted to this format and it will be sent from to, right, with the email IDs in format, date, subject, and the corresponding message and signature, that is the body and the header of the message, and this is envelope. So this is the format of email. So any email address is being used to communicate to a corresponding person. You cannot use your IP address or any other MAC address for this purpose. So even URLs cannot be used, but email, even though some email is connected with URL, you require specific email address because this is like a postal address. So address of the mailbox on the mail server, so it may be Nagappan at savita.az.in or gmail.com. So this is the domain name of the corresponding mail server where it is the corresponding mail ID is being stored. So how does this protocol function? So our multipurpose internet mail extensions protocol is the internet standard that extends the format of email messages to support text in character sets other than ASCII also. For example, for the attachments like audio, video, images, and other application programs can also come from the user. So the user agent will receive that and send it in non-ASCII code format, whereas this multi-purpose internet mail extensions protocol, MIME protocol, according to the version, it will convert it into 7-bit NVT ASCII. So it is going to be a network virtual terminal ASCII characters, which also include the other format of data, and that is being passed on to the message transfer agent, and that is the media, that is the format in which it is transmitted, and the receiver side again the corresponding MIME is going to convert it into the corresponding non-ASCII code format, and the user agents receive that and send it to the user. This is the purpose of MIME. And the header is going to be like this, the normal email header, and then it is going to mention the MIME version 1.1 and what is the content type, what is the content transfer encoding type, content ID, and content description, textual explanation of non-textual contents, and then the corresponding email body is being sent. So what are these things? The version is 1.1, and when you say type, when you say about content type and subtype, so the type may be text, multi-part text, or there's multi-part or message or image or video or audio or applications. So the subtypes are also mentioned here. So it may be RFC, JPG, GIF, MPEG, and so on. So which are being supported. And then what about the content transfer encoding? What kind of encoding type are being followed? So the encoding type may be 7-bit encoding into NVT ASCII, or 8-bit non-ASCII characters and short lines, or binary encoding, or base 64 encoding in case of only ASCII characters, and quotable, printable non-ASCII characters which are being encoded as an equal signs followed by ASCII code. So these are content transfer encoding types. Fine. So now if we see about SMTP range, so simple mail transfer protocol is being used to used as the protocol set of rules to transfer data from sender to the mail server, as well as the mail server to the mail server, and at receiver side alone we are going to use some other protocol. So this is the range of one SMTP protocol. So what happens? The MTA client sends the commands to the MTA server, and the MTA server sends response to it. So what is the command format? Keyword colon the arguments. So what kind of keywords or commands can be there? Hello, mail from recipient to, that is the to address, then the data is body of the mail, quit, reset, verify, right, no operation, turn, like this, right? So we have lot of commands. So there can also be responses to these things. So in case service is not available, mail not available, service ready, right, there can be positive completion reply is 250 and so on, and there can also be negative replies for this SMTP protocol what we sent, right? So syntax error in the mail and all these things. See, these are not seen by us while we send it in GUI, but in case there are some errors, we get the user friendly errors, but based on reading these codes, these responses, the user friendly errors are being shown to us. Now let us see an example of direct use of SMTP to send email. Actually you can write a program in Java and send an email to somebody, to particular email ID also. So how does it happen? So this is using normal SMTP protocol to simulate the commands and responses described in this session. So using telnet, log on to port 25, which is for SMTP, then use the commands directly to send an email. And in this example, Farazan B at adelphia.net is sending an email to himself. First few lines show the telnet trying to connect to the Adelphia mail server. After connection, we type the SMTP commands and receive the responses as shown, right? Note that we have added some comments also. Let us see. See, telnet mail.adelphia.net 25. So it will connect to this corresponding mail server at port number 25 for SMTP, and it is trying to connected to this one. Now for connection establishment, after that is over, it will show 220, it is connected, SMTP server ready at this time. So now we will send hello and then that corresponding mail server. So if it is successful, it will say 250 that mail server. Okay, now we are going to send mail from. So mail from is a command colon space then the corresponding sender's mail ID, and it responds by 250, which is okay. Then recipient to recipient 2, the 2 address to himself is sending, so 250, it is recipient is okay. Now data is being sent, so after sending data it says okay. Now we are typing the data and finally a dot to denote the end of the data. And after the message is received, when we type quit 221, quits closes the connection and connection closed by foreign host. So this is how a mail is sent using SMTP. So from sender to the mail server, it uses SMTP. From this mail server, the SMTP builds automatic message and sends it to the recipient mail server. But from the mail server of the recipient, in order to receive the data, the receiver has to access the mail from the mail server. So for that it may use POP3, that is post office protocol, or internet message access protocol 4 version. So how does it work? So the exchange of commands and responses in POP3 is shown here. The mail server here splits it into the various mailboxes and keeps it ready. So Bob's computer is going to send its username, and POP3 server says okay. If the password is sent, it says okay. If it is wrong, it will ask for retyping, and then it is going to send the list of the emails from which it has to be read. So the email numbers, how many emails they have received, and their sizes are being sent to the receiver. And now it is going to select a particular mail, right, and it is asking retrieve mail 1. So the email 1 is opened and sent to it, and so on. All the mails one by one, whatever is requested is sent. And this is how we get the client to pull the information or mail from the mail server at the receiver side. So this is all about emails and use of SMTP and POP3 for mail transfer. Thank you.